absolute uncertainty is the name of the game right now, especially as Donald Trump has laid an ultimatum for tomorrow. Now, we need to be careful as right now that we're in the Easter holiday, especially in Europe as the European markets are closed, but the USA and Asia are open. Now, what's important to understand is whether the markets are going to believe that Trump is going to tackle like he's done before. There's a running theme where he sets an ultimatum on Friday and then sorts it out on Monday. Now, this is going to go only so far, and we will see when the oil markets open up and see what the S&P 500 is going to go. Now, what is this going to do to the markets? Let's have a look. Let's have an understanding, and we can go from there. And if you want to know who I am, I'm Alvarez. I've been in the system since 2017, done many projects. I have a marketing agency, made 7 figures in the industry, and I trade on a daily basis. So let's get into it. We first start off with USDT dominance. Right now, USDT dominance is sitting at a critical support level. If it breaks this 7.83% level, it is more than likely that this thing will come down and test the 7.621, which will cause a relevant rally in the market. If you don't know what USDT dominance is, it's the relationship between how much of the liquidity is laying within a stable USDT dominance and how much is it laying within the actual crypto market industry. If we look at Bitcoin, it looks like we have regained some key important levels. We've seen a beautiful breakout of this downward channel, which is looking like there is a bullish indication, bullish momentum that's going on the market. However, this was done on a Sunday, so what happens on a Sunday is not always a clear indication of where the next week is going to go. But at this present moment, we're seeing real strength. We've come across some key levels. The 68,000 level was extremely important. That was a very strong level of resistance. We've broken through that, and more importantly, we have created, maybe not on the 1 hour, but on the 50-minute, we have seen a clear market structure shift, a clear close above the previous range high, and it looks like there can be further continuation here. Now, if we look at the larger time frames on the market, we see that not only have we found strength within the lower band of this resistance, but it looks like this thing is going to go and possibly test these higher levels around the 71,300 to around the 72,000, especially as we see this further trend line coming to an area where potentially could be a good area to short. Now, more importantly, I have an access to a terminal that most people don't see, and it looks like the $72,040 level will be the key level for a short, or if we regain it, it could be a key level for further movement up. So if you look at the 72,050, let's put it there. That, well, I mean, it comes almost exactly in line with the previous range high as well. So this area here will be an area where I'll be looking to do a short into the market. Now, further information to have a look at, it looks like the VIX is not really reacting off what Donald Trump said on the weekend. It looks like they're expecting a tackle as he has done multiple times before. It seems like there is a bit of a path that's going through. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, where waited for the stable coin aspect, so taking out the stable coins, we still see a dominance of Bitcoin going on, but stable coins are still holding some strength. If we look at oil, this thing looks like it's going to further continue. We don't see a level where this conflict within the Gulf countries in the Middle East is going to be stopping anytime soon. And if he doesn't de-escalate according to what he's going to say, this thing is going to continue for a very long time, especially as there seems to be some miscommunication between what Donald Trump is saying, what the market believes, and what Iran is talking about on that level. Now, we need to understand that if we look at the S&P 500, the 500 of the most valuable companies traded traded in the USA, we look like we're regaining a key level, and it looks like the monthly close was somewhat above the key level we were looking at the 66,552. Now, this level above is going to be very, very important. I wouldn't technically call this as a close above, or especially on the daily or on the 4 hour we have, which looks relatively good, but I will be forewarning of this scenario. This looks to me a lot like this period here, where we see a further growth into an area of resistance, which will probably be around the 66,664 area-ish, that area there. And I think that could be a further movement down, because I want to make this clear. Right now, what this effect has happened in the Middle East is only going to cause a lot of inflationary pressure. At the same time, we're seeing effects of unemployment start building up, and those two aspects could cause and have caused major market corrections in the past. So we need to monitor that carefully. We need to wait and see what the inflationary numbers that come out next is going to be. But it is incredibly important that we understand that at this present moment, short term, it looks like we could see a further move up, a potential test again of the monthly open again. Usually we define that support, but it's looking like we've already found support on the lower level of the resistance band. So we could see a run up test of these higher levels, possibly around the 72,050, and then a potential short from there. If, for example, we find support above these levels, then we could see a real growth and a push towards the 84 to 85,000 level. And if we gain support there, higher and higher and higher. But in my humble opinion, I don't think we've seen the bottom of this market at this present moment. Well, we'll see what the markets will give, the information will give. And if you guys like what we're doing here, make sure you press the button. I'll be doing this every day, short updates on the market, exactly what I'm doing, and we can go from there. Peace, affection, and I'll catch you guys later.